Well, that was kind of funny. Hey guys, this is Siren at SirenSongGaming. I've been talking to myself for the last 2 minutes, realized I didn't actually ever start the live stream. I started it, but I didn't actually go live. So I've been talking to myself for the last few minutes, so excuse me there. But we are here on our 100 Days to the Far Territory playlist. We just came down the hill here from the trailer, and I was talking a little bit about the DLC. I looked over and realized that my video still wasn't up. Obviously, this is only like my third or fourth live stream, so I apologize about that. I'm gonna have to turn this video up, make sure that none of that comes through, but that's okay. What we were talking about was nothing major. We are currently at Coastal Highway. We're gonna go ahead and walk around, see what we can find, loot through this area, and then after that, go ahead and take a peek. We'll probably not get finished looting during this episode, so I'll be able to put a poll up and see where you guys want to go next. If I remember correctly, we talked about doing Mountain Town. I don't know if we'll have time, but we'll try. There you are. Doing my intro, man. I don't need your help. Persistent little bugger. Anyway, so that's where we are so far. Got him though. So the developers put out a couple little bits of information regarding the DLC. There's a couple breadcrumbs that were dropped, basically talking about what to expect, what's changing, all those fun things that we're all asking questions about. I'm speculating that they're not going to wipe saves on PC, because I think the consoles are getting their update finally, and they're getting both at the same time, so they'll be caught up with us again on the updates. However, I can't get that revolver ammo. To get it from the back. Um, However, I think obviously Xbox is going to lose their save files, but they didn't say anything this time about PC losing their save files, so I'm hoping that we won't. And we kind of talked a little bit about this before. If we do, not a big deal, we'll start over. If we don't, great. We'll keep going, we'll get to the far territory, and we're going to hang out. We have options. It's okay. We've been hanging out all this time. We have to start over. We'll start over. But I get the inclination that that's not going to be what happens. And I think the reason that they split it last time was actually because they went ahead and they made a note of this again for the console players. They actually split survival mode and winter mute into two different game options now. So you can actually, if you already purchased the Long Dark before the split, you have both copies. But like when I went ahead and bought this game for PC because I have it for console, I only bought the survival version and the DLC. Um, I did not go ahead and also do the Wintermute series because I have it on Xbox. If I really want to play it, I can always play it there, and if I want to stream it, I'll just buy it down the line next time it goes on sale. I'm not really too excited to do it right now. I don't really care all that much at this moment. There's a lot of survival content out right now that I think will keep us more than busy. But I think that's, if I had to go ahead and take a guess, I think that's why all of the saves got reset was because they had to go ahead and all of the root programming and stuff that they used for that, all the coding and stuff like that, they had to split it. And the only way to split it would be to remove everybody's old saves. It sucks, but it's not like they were doing it to be malicious. So I don't, as I said, I don't think they're going to go ahead and have that happen again for PC. Console is definitely going to lose their saves as we did on PC. But they're also getting all the new content all at once, so 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. You guys have known for long enough that was going to happen, so hopefully, you played out your long playlists until you have until the 30th. So keep going, keep exploring, all that stuff. But just know that it's coming to an end. So if there's anything crazy you wanted to do, you better do it. Good thing we don't need those thermals. It would be nice if I could find some socks, though. Water, nice. The other thing that they mentioned in the DLC post was that there was a rumor a while back that the prepper caches were disabled, and the community was kind of split on whether that was a rumor or whether that was true. Apparently, it was true. So the prepper caches, you're not getting unlucky. They were actually disabled. They are now re-enabled. I almost said re-abled. That's not a word. But they're now re-enabled. And what they did was there's 9 possible prepper caches that can spawn, and you'll have 3 on the map at any given point that has loot in it, is the way that I read it. Alternatively, all 9 will spawn, but only 3 of them will have loot in it, is the way that I read it. One of those 2 ways. Regardless, good to know that those prepper caches will be there, because they do actually contain a lot of really good gear. But I'm interested to see, you know, what's what there. Next thing they brought up is that they are introducing the acorns across the map, so it's not just a Far Territory exclusive. That's part of the general update. So even if you don't have the DLC, you should have access to the acorns, is the way that I read it, because it says part of the free survival update was the acorns. You wouldn't have access to the new map, but they are putting the oak trees on the regular maps as well. Basically, you're going to have unique looking trees called oak trees. And is that a piece of venison? Oh, look at that. We're going to eat it. Because I don't want to carry it. Cool. We're still going to have to carry it. But the acorns, they're going to be a new cooking item. So we're going to be able to take those acorns, prepare them in whatever way, because they did say that they will require some preparation. So my guess is that we're going to either have to grind them, soak them, something. My wilderness friends that I have a couple people that play this game. You know, obviously it's a community. People that actually do some outdoorist stuff say that acorns are really bitter and you have to soak them in water for like 24, 48 hours before you can eat them because they're so darn bitter. So I'm wondering if the prep work for that is either going to need to soak them in something or to grind them up with something. I feel like I remember in one of the old patch notes them saying something about a mortar and pestle maybe. So I wonder if you'll have to find a mortar and pestle to be able to use them. See if they spawn in like medical facilities and stuff like that. I've seen them on the counter places, but I wonder if that's going to be what comes up next with that. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with this. Regardless, it gives us a new option for food if, you know, you're not able to hunt or something else. So like you can use acorn flour to make some foods and things like that. They have some protein in it, stuff like that. So I wonder what the usability of that's going to be. Pretty excited to see what they're going to do with it. Next item is they said that with the new signal mission that's coming out, I think it sounds like it's a mini mission within survival. There's going to be some unique items that you can obtain after. There's a handheld radio. There are some new clothing. I think it's like a bomber's jacket or something like that, like a leather jacket, something of that nature, to go ahead and add in as well. My guess would be that's going to be included in the DLC, not the free content, since it's part of the signal transmission mission. Can you bug off? Missed. Oh, taking another shot. I almost did. My aim's off. Heavy, too. Gotta get back. We're gonna drop all of our stuff in Quonset Hut so we can move freely. Love living at Quonset Hut. There's so much stuff around. It's a nice, like, even though it's not technically center on the map, there's a lot of nice things in it. Me and this wolf are gonna fight. And by fight, I mean I'm gonna crab walk to the door and ignore him. Ignore him. But yeah, so that's what I've seen so far with the new DLC. I posted the link if you want to go ahead and read the spoiler notes yourself. And then Hinterlands also did post a teaser trailer for the mini mission as well. I posted that a few days ago. Go ahead and watch that as well. There's a lot of really exciting stuff coming out. And there's only 8 days until it launches. So I'm really excited. We're really trying to get to the airfield beforehand. We're going to see what happens. I'm caught up doing wedding stuff too, so my weekends are a little bit not my own. It's the first time I've found Barb's rifle, so now we found Barb's rifle in the Quonset hut. That's cool. Barb's rifle is apparently supposed to be a heavier hitting rifle. It's heavier, but we can play around with this Let's see, that's cool. So we have 2 of the rifles so far. The one we didn't get was in Ash Canyon. It was called the Curator's Rifle, and then we would have all 3 of the new rifles. Um, but, and then obviously the regular hunting rifle. That's pretty exciting though. I've never actually found that here, and I've been to Quonset, I've been to Quonset a few times. I know it spawns on coastal, but I didn't know we'd find it here. As silly as that sounds. We don't want that can opener. But, you know, it is what it is. So we just got 2... They give us 2 can openers here? That's weird. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna start dropping stuff here. Because we are really heavy. But what I was saying before is I would like to get into the airfield before the DLC drops. If it's not possible, that's okay. But I did want to try to get in there before the DLC pops. We found another hacksaw. Let's see what we can drop in here. I would say these 2 can get dropped for now. They're heavy. Let's drop some of this stuff. We definitely don't need all these duplicates. See, somebody popped in. Hey, how are you? Okay. Just gonna take a second to throw all this stuff up here so I don't lose it. So it's easier to grab. We're gonna be here for a few in-game days. And we have a ton of rifle cleaning kits. So we'll leave those here as well. This we'll probably never use, but I'll put it up there just so we know where it is. That's dusting sulfur that is used for making bullets. You combine that with charcoal and stump remover. You make gunpowder, and you turn gunpowder into bullets with the casings that you have or find. So we found a couple empty casings here. There's almost always a couple empty casings here, so if you're looking for casings or just want to go ahead and use those casings, you just need to look around for them. We found Barb's rifle, so we're going to go ahead and throw that down here. I'm sure we're not going to use it right this second. This hammer can get dropped because it's very heavy. What else? That's Vaughn's rifle. I just had Barb's rifle. Is it on the floor still? Yes. We'll go ahead and chuck her up here. Can you? No, it's not. Oh, it's being real glitchy right now. Okay. Sure, let it float. We're gonna drop the other pot that we have here because we don't need both. This basin has some, oh, it's potable. Sometimes this basin is unpotable, or non-potable, I guess is the correct way to word that. So just watch. We're gonna drop these flares. I'm just gonna leave them on the ground because that would be a pain in the butt to pick up. We can drop our tools. We're not gonna need them right now, and they're about 2 pounds, a little over 2. Can drop this bear hide so it can start. Okay, we can drop this bear hide so it can start curing. That way we can make our bear coat. And we can leave these, all of these chefs in here. We'll put those up, put the feathers up. The scrap metal, some of the leather. Sorry if I'm going kind of fast. I'm just trying to quickly go through some of the stuff. Alright, the rest of it we're going to go ahead and out here with. I swear this game likes to give me spray paint. I don't use it, and there's always at least one. We're still too heavy to run after dropping all that stuff. Like, we can run, but not very much. Got some more flares. That's a cardboard box. Some tinder we don't need. This is where there's usually some rifle casings. Sometimes they are revolver casings, but there's almost always casings there. Can, sewing kit, go drink. Got some tomato soup, ketchup chips, soda, matches. These are always fun because you got to kind of get them at a corner. Close that. This can on the ground always drives me crazy because I think it's a Summit soda on the ground, but it's an open soda that's left on the ground. Candy bar, beef jerky. So we have lots of food. That's nice. In here, there's an extra bedroll. We'll go ahead and bring that out here. Throw this down here on the shelf. I like to use these shelves here for storage. I put food up in it. I put water, stuff like that. But I have to say, this is one of my favorite base locations within a map. So, not my favorite area, but definitely my favorite location on the map. I love the gas stations because of all the extra storage. It makes it really feel like a little huddle hut you can hang out in. It might just be me, but I think it's fun. We'll keep the second sewing kit, why the heck not? Cloth. That. Crow feather. There's another pry bar. We don't need that right this second, so we'll throw it there. Checked all of those. These snap-on containers. I always forget about them. And then another stem and another bandage. Cool. So, let's drop some things here. I usually have, I know these might seem obscure, but these are the places I usually put things. And since I've been doing it for so long in these places, I know where things are when we're in here. So, might seem a little random, but just trying to make ourselves at home here for the short time we'll be here. Trying to make it so we can run a little bit lighter as we run around and loot things. Take some of these with us. I don't think we need all of these. We'll take them when we go to leave, but like I said, I'll try to travel light if I can. OCD in me wants to straighten this out, but I respect your time too much for that. So I won't make you guys sit through that. Alright, let's get some of this food out. Because we're going to find a lot more still. Lots of ketchup chips. We will drop the MREs. We're not going to eat those right now. Got a lot of sodas on us. Jeez, I didn't realize we had that many. Yeah, we don't need any of those. Drop the coffee. We'll keep one tin. And then we'll go ahead and throw this stuff up here. If you really take your time, you can make this look really cool too. But we're not here to take our time. We're here to explore and all that jazz. So, just gonna get the stuff up to get it up. I was doing this one time, and my partner walked in and was like, "What are you doing? And just sat here and watched me do this for a few minutes. But I was taking my time and straightening things out. She thought I was insane. She was like, do we need to talk to your doctor about OCD meds? And I was like, no, I just like things to be neat. Makes me feel like, it's that sense of like, it almost feels satisfying to have everything straightened out. It just looks so nice when you come in here after a long day running around getting attacked by wolves. I tried to explain that to her and she still thought I was crazy, so. Maybe I am. I haven't decided yet. But it's okay. Even if I am crazy, she's the one that proposed to me, so she picked this life. There was no surprises. Cool. Now, water. We definitely don't need all of this water because we're going to keep finding more. So we're going to drink our fill and then drop some of it. And we'll pick one or two of the bottles back up again. Keep these 2 bottles. Big bottle is a full drink. The small ones, I believe, are about half. So it'll be enough to get us to the next place. We're going to find more. I am going to take this with me too, just in case. I don't want to have to drink or eat my cattails if I can help it. That's the next thing we're going to leave. And those we're just going to throw on the ground because there's so darn many of them. Take a couple with us just so we don't lose our bonus. But I'm hoping we won't need it. What was in here? Pants. We can actually take those out, and we'll throw them on the ground over here for cloth. Okay. So I think we quickly ran through everything in Quonset Hut. We can go on to the next one. It's only midday, so we definitely have time. We have our bear hide sitting here curing. Do I have any guts or anything else to drop? Doesn't look like it. I think we're going to leave the rifle behind just because we have the bow and we have the revolver. I don't think there's any reason for us to take both. I'm trying to get us way underweight so that we can be a little bit more aggressive about our exploring. We'll drop this book. We're not going to take it with us. Drop that book. We're not going to take it with us. Drop that. I don't think we need that. Oh, let's get rid of some of these. And we don't need that right now. Cool. So now we are down to 70 pounds of stuff. That means we have 29 pounds to go ahead and loot and play around with. Looks pretty good to me. We have 10 days on this bear hide before we can leave. Theoretically, we could leave at any time. There's nothing holding us here. We're going to go out this door since that wolf was at the other door. And we can go explore more. Good for right now. Cool, cool, cool. So, next from here, I usually go ahead and explore the cars around here. There's quite a few cars laying around. Coastal, if you think about it, it's one long, like it is one long highway. If you're feeling lazy, you can use the ice to cut between the sides, which is often what I do. Yes, we needed these. Now we have our climbing socks. That's awesome because now we can fix them and wear them and we'll have basically all the best gear we can have. Because if you look at these, at 95%, these are almost as good at 40%. So we'll go ahead and swap them out. We're going to harvest these up. So we're not carrying the extra weight. And insert text for the wifey, sorry. Got some stones here. Did I check this vehicle already? No, I didn't. So we're going to explore all the vehicles. Last time I was here on Interloper, I popped my head out. I'll take that for the cloth. It's light. I popped my head out here and there was a moose standing here. And I heard the grumble and I was getting ready to go out to I think one of these houses back here. And there was a car sitting right here and I had to like leap into it. And the moose like charged and as soon as I got in the car stopped charging, but he was definitely coming for my ribs. Um, so that was fun. We got to narrowly escape him. We were in this house already. Okay. Okay. But yeah, so it was a good time. Narrowly escaped with my life. But there's a bear that can spawn here. He walks sometimes around the back. I've had it where I've come out my back door here and he's chased me and I lured him all the way back here and killed him and then skinned him and cooked him up back here. This is another one of my favorite spots to do mass cooking things because I'll put fires here. Like I had like one here, 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 all the way around. Um, you don't get the wind protection like you get from the other places that we were talking about. Maybe it was back here. I think I did it back here actually. So, you know, around here, made my fires and then just had, oh, look at that. More quality tools. Cool. Um, broke down these pallets for wood, cut down a bunch of branches for wood. So you can really kind of hike out here for a long time if you want to be kind of committed to doing that. It's a good time. And there's lots of food everywhere. Like I said, there's bear that spawns up in here, a moose, there's unlimited amounts of fishing you can go do. If you have scrap metal and guts, you can just keep fishing for days and just kind of squat here. It's definitely a good spot if you're looking for a long play. You could definitely do it in Coastal. Um, it's not my favorite just because I get bored here, but the supplies are there for sure. Um, There's a cave, I think, nearby here. I haven't actually looked. But when I get cabin fever, I just go fish for the night or sleep in one of the fishing huts out on the ice. So there's definitely places you can go. We'll go this way first because we'll go out on the ice and probably sleep on one of the Misanthrope Islands or whatever. I was gonna take the rabbit traps with us, but I decided to leave them for now. I just want to see what types of food we can find. We have a ton of food right now. I don't think we need to go ahead and start hunting rabbits yet. Um, Maybe I'll do one or two with stones just to get the hides, get them curing, because we'll probably end up needing to fix our hat and gloves before we go. Just normal wear and tear on them. We'll see. Okay. And then I'm going to have to keep an eye on the clock here. That's why we can't go super crazy today. But I have to be back to work at 1 o'clock, so. Sorry, 2 o'clock. We started at 1 Eastern Standard Time. So we'll keep an eye out on our time here, and I have to break a few minutes early so I can actually get food and heat it up so I can eat it while I'm working. But I figured this was a really good time to sit here and hang out live. But because otherwise I can do a boring recorded video and do it and upload it, or I can just record it live with you guys. You guys have the chance to hang out, and then I don't have to record and cut down videos. So if people make it, great. If not, the content is still there for them to view after. And it gives you guys the opportunity to be interactive if you'd like. So, trying to get into the habit of starting, both of those just empty? Okay. Starting the streams ahead enough, a time that if it's a time that you can do, that would be great. I'm pretty much free to take my lunch anytime before 3 o'clock Eastern time. So if it's better earlier, if it's better an hour later for the next time, just let me know. We could always do, I'm usually down to do a live stream because it gives me some time to unwind and play some games. So that's what I'm going to be doing anyway, so I could play this or I could play something else. But since we're crunch time for this game, figured it was a good time. We'll do the same Friday more than likely. Just until we get out to the airfield. Okay. Nothing in the microwave. Sometimes there's coffee in there. Cool, cool, cool. Take a hot second. Take care of our needs. Need that. Let's eat this venison up. I think I just ate the bigger piece, but that's okay. Alright, so that's that house. What else do we have? But you can see there's lots of branches and stuff on the ground here. There's sticks everywhere. The only thing I would say that's a little bit rough about this area is the wolves. They're definitely all over the place. But as long as you have a way to either stave them off with like a flare or a torch and some stones, or shoot them, they'll take a couple days to respawn. It'll give you a little bit of a reprieve. There's also a bear that spawns out here. There's a lot of bears in Coastal, I've noticed. They spawn in different areas. They don't overlap, but there are a lot of them. So just keep an eye out for furry friends. Otherwise, you'll end up like me last episode, where you get a big old hug from them. That hug brought me down to a quarter of my condition, so I don't recommend those types of hugs, but if you like to hug rough, furry animals, then who am I to tell you you're wrong? I believe that's the wolf we shot, because that does not look like a live wolf. Ah, that's laying on the ground, so I'm going to assume that's the wolf we shot earlier. He cycled back out onto the ice. We probably drew him in with the meat that was in our pocket. Or the hide that I had, drew him closer. Because with the hides, even though you don't have a smell bar with them, you still technically do. We'll come up and we'll carve him up later before we come back. A couple houses down here I want to hit. I like being on the ice better. You can see wolves and stuff, because they have to come onto the flat ice. Otherwise, you end up with a bunch of corner wolves and stuff like that. To each their own. What we'll do is when we come back, we're going to skin that deer, take his hide, take a little bit of meat on him, skin that wolf, take his meat and the guts. We'll probably take the guts from that too, just so we have some guts curing. And then we'll see what we can see. What is that black thing over there in the middle of the screen? I wonder. Is it a wolf? No, it's a rock. Okay, that's weird. It looked linear, kind of like a box or something. Maybe it's just a weird rock. It is, it's just where the snow's not on that rock. Okay, it's weird. These islands here, this one there and the one behind it, you can't really see it. They have corner wolf. Tons. Let's get some archery in. Tons of stop zigzagging. Did I hear a second one? We'll come back and get him later too. Oh, there's one. He's up here. Just killed a rabbit. Can we steal your rabbit? Where are you? But he's right over this cliff. I heard him. Did you guys hear that rabbit die? There you are. We scared him. Oh, I broke that arrow, but we took his carcass. Cool. We might cook that up and have that for dinner tonight. We missed the wolf, but we still scared him, so I'll take it. We don't need those. They're kind of heavy. Might break them down for the leather. I have to think about it. Nothing? That's a book. We don't really need that. What's this? Ugh, paint can. I think I need to drink some water today. I've had a little bit too much coffee, I've noticed, and starting to get a little bit of a headache. Gonna have to take care of that next. Self-care is important, my friends. Self-care is important. Drink your water, eat your food, all that stuff that I haven't done yet today. Sometimes I just get rolling with work. Traffic and some other navigation issues that are a little bit embarrassing made me almost a half an hour late to work yesterday. So I logged on about a half an hour early today to try to make up the deficit. So I sat down, started working, and then didn't realize how late it got so quickly. So I need to go ahead and eat more, but I haven't eaten yet today. It's the third venison steak we found. Maybe we won't need to cook tonight. So yeah, we have to eat when we're done here. Should have eaten already, but you guys were more important. But that's okay. I won't die of starvation anytime soon. I think the water is why I have a headache more than anything. It's kind of weird. So I never used to drink all that much water, but when I started drinking it, I see a weight loss specialist. Because I was getting to the point where I was starting to get worried about my weight. So my regular doctor recommended I see one. I highly recommend it too. Like if you're not sure, this doctor has done so much for me, and has made me feel better about myself and has given me like tangible ways to try to lose weight. Since I have a, kind of a high stress job and I'm usually very busy, there was a medication I was able to start on to try to help me kind of lose weight by eating less, so making me feel fuller for longer, things like that. But the other really nice thing about having that kind of doctor is just having that support system that's a doctor that doesn't make you feel bad about your weight. I was for sure overweight. I was not obese, she said. Like technically I was clinically obese after I had my scans done. But I've lost about 40 pounds so far, and I've actually done it in a relatively healthy way. And I feel good. Like I don't feel like I'm starving myself. I feel like I can eat the things I want to eat, things like that. Um, but so back to the root of that whole tangent, that doctor actually recommended I start drinking a lot more water. Well, after I started drinking a lot more water, I find that if I don't drink enough water, I actually sit here and I feel really thirsty a lot more frequently. So I don't know if my body was just used to that level of dehydration. I didn't mean to eat that. Stop. Or, or what have you. I don't know if that's a thing, but now I feel like if I don't drink at least a liter and a half of water a day, I don't feel good. Like I feel like I need to eat or drink more. Or, sorry, drink more water, which is abnormal. Because I used to drink like maybe a glass of water every 3 days before all this. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a real thing, but that's what it feels like. When I mentioned it to her, she was like, that's interesting. Kind of like, I haven't really heard that before, but I believe it type of, how doctors are. But, our bodies are built to survive, so maybe that is, I was just used to that level of constant dehydration. Now I'm more clinical for the symptoms, I guess, maybe. I'm not really sure. It's just interesting, especially sitting here playing a survival game. We're not taking these fire logs. Forget these fire logs. They're like, what, 8 pounds each? Well, 8 pounds for 2 of them. Almost 9 pounds for the 2 of them. Dog food. This is what I was talking about. We're going to find a ton of prepared food here. Okay. Got about 10 minutes anyway, so we'll search these couple houses and then we'll have to call it a day probably. Which makes me sad, but at least you guys get a little bit. Something. Sometimes you can find like fish or rabbit or something in these ovens. Just kind of cool. And since we have level 5 cooking, it doesn't matter if it's spoiled or rotten or whatever, we can still eat it. Definitely worth the time for level 5 cooking, it always is. We have 2 red long johns, I'll check before we leave, but I don't think we need that. Yeah, we have 2. We found our other climbing socks, which is awesome, we need to repair those. But we have cloth, and we have sewing kits. So we'll go ahead and fix them up when we stop again. Not a lot of good clothing here, so if you're ever stuck, all these houses have drawers, and most of these drawers have stuff in them. That's like the fourth pair of boots that we found. They didn't take like an hour and a half to break. That scared me. Like, I don't know why, but that made me jump. Poor dead guy. I wonder if he died from... Well, he's not wearing any clothes. Nothing warm. Got a hat on. There's food in the house. He couldn't have starved to death. I don't know. That's weird. I haven't seen a body here before. That's interesting. But definitely scared me because I have been watching NCIS for like the last 2 weeks. So I was like, oh god, there's a dead body. No shit, Sherlock. Excuse my French. Okay. So that's this house. And we'll play until the end of this game day. It won't take me long to heat up food anyway. So that's this house. I think the next one's across the water though, so we might stop there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think the next one's too far off. We'll give you the general updates, and then we will call it a day, unfortunately. No, this is a pretty short video, but... Alright, fine, I'll go inside and do my outro. Gosh, he's mad I took his rabbit. Anywho, I also have 2 small bars. Anywho, guys, thanks for hanging out today. We are, just to give you updated numbers, we're on day 62, so we're over the hump. We have to start really preparing and getting away over to the airfield soon. So we have to spend, I would like to spend the full 10 days in this area just to go ahead and cure up that hide. We don't have to carry the raw hide around. I would prefer not to. But that's where we're at. So we'll hang out here for a few days. We'll loot through, give you guys an idea how I like to loot through this area. It's different for everybody, but guys, I hope you have a lovely day. Go ahead and share your adventures in the comment section below. Like and subscribe. And if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and tell your friends about it. We're a growing channel, trying to get to the point where we can start producing some great content. The only way I can do that, though, is more subscribers. So tell your friends. But thanks for hanging out. The guys who are here, it means a lot. And anybody that's watching after the live stream, we missed you, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.